going on, everybody? Kyle with ePoolSupply. Today we are going over what's in the box on Pentair's Creepy Crawly Legend. In terms of its counterpart, this is actually the gray and white cleaner. So we're going to kind of show you the differences and what comes in the box. Stay tuned. Alright, and we're back. So today we are going to go through what's in the box on Pentair's Creepy Crawly Legend. This is a pressure side pool cleaner. We've had videos out there on the gray version, and today we're actually going to go over the gray and white. They recommend the gray and white cleaner if you've got like a plain plaster gunite style pool, or if you've got like a really light kind of pebble tech. So this way, again, it does just similar to the gray one. It tries to blend in as much as possible so that you're not taking the you're taking some of the eyesore away of actually having a cleaner floating around in the bottom, keeping everything clean. So let's open it up. It's a little bit of a crazy box. You'll see why in a second. Give me 1 second. I do give Pentair credit because the packaging is out of control. Let's get it out of the way. Sweet, take it out of here. It's actually really cool. The cleaner's like right in the middle and the hoses kind of surround it. So here is their gray and white version of the Legend. So let me set this down, move the box over, and go over everything else. Turn it over. Alright, so let's get the paperwork out of here. Got a cool little thing. And the bag. So, bag, very important. This is what's going to catch all your debris. It's actually got kind of a pre-molded piece of rubber plastic composite here on the inside so that it kind of helps it stay open so you don't take the risk of it kind of cavitating based off of the pressure or how much debris you have in it. It actually comes, again, already pre-installed with a little piece of foam that's just going to help it stay upright when it's attached onto the top of the cleaner. It's got this other piece of Velcro that you'll attach to some of the hoses that we'll go over here. So then that way, again, it stays up. And then you've got another tab on top. That's just to aid you. And so you don't sit here forever trying to do it. It aids you in opening up the Velcro. So then that way, whenever you got to empty it, turn it upside down, shake it out, rinse it out. Velcro back up, you're good to go. So set this off to the side. Another piece comes with the instructions and a hose nut on how to actually attach the hose, which I'll take out of the box here in a minute, to the top of the cleaner. You do need a hose nut. It is really difficult to kind of pressure fit it on to the top of the cleaner here, but the hose nut just helps keep it down even tighter, especially on initial startup when you haven't set your proper RPMs, and so your pressure may be a little high depending on the cleaner that you had before. Really important that you make sure that you get this hose nut on here to keep the hose down on the cleaner and make sure everything can get fine-tuned in from there. So they give you an extra one for that. Very important, they do talk about the feed hose. The leader hoses and your feed hoses, you will need to cut the hose. The hose is very large. You've got a couple extra, sometimes six extra feet of hose that you don't need. They'll lay you out on how to cut it and where to cut it and what to do in the user manual, but they do throw a disclosure in there that don't think that the hose is ready to go straight out the box. It's a possibility it might be depending on the size of your pool, but typically you will need to cut it, so make sure you pay attention to that. Bright yellow paper, they don't want you to miss it. Warranties. Warranties are crucial, especially since a lot of these cleaners come with rebates. Don't particularly think they had any rebates on the Legends this year, but there are other cleaners out there that did come with other rebates, mail-in rebates. So when you go to apply for your warranty, which requires the serial number of the unit, typically some kind of installation, whether you choose to self-install it or not, and then they allow you to do your rebate process in that same jump, so that way you can do everything. They do send a card, allow you to do it by mail. Typically, a lot of people now don't like paper and they want to do it all online. They do offer that option where you can do absolutely all your warranties, your registrations, anything like that online. just read the manual and the warranty card, and it'll walk you through on how to access it, whichever way you choose. So very important. And then of course they give you the mini dictionary of installation. So comes in 4 different languages in here, so that's why it's a book. Not really too difficult to get these set up. Hopefully we'll have videos here shortly where we actually go and install all these for you so that you guys can see from start to finish really the typical steps. It's going to walk you through everything in the guide. They're really simple to do, especially if you've already got one. So make sure you keep it, read it. Doesn't hurt to actually have some extra knowledge. Keep this around, especially even after you install it, because you never know when you're going to need to go back and fix something, and just to make sure. So hold on to it. All right, so let me get this hose out of here. It's kind of wrapped around. Set this box out. Ooh. All right. So you can see that the leader hose is a different color. You're going for a clear hose. Pentair really likes to do this. I haven't really seen it across any of the other manufacturers, but they do like to make them different colors to help you differentiate what part you're going to need. So this is the end that's actually going to connect directly to the top of the cleaner with that included hose nut that we talked about earlier. It's actually going to get pressure fit right over here on top of the knob, and you're going to have the hose nut on here so that when you push it down and you get it in there, you're going to use the hose nut to tighten it down, so then that way this thing doesn't pop off the cleaner all the time. So it does have some wear rings, especially right here in the beginning, just to keep the fact that if it's bouncing around close to the walls, it helps keep the life on this hose by keeping it off the wall just a little bit, floor, wall, whatever it may be, just to make sure it doesn't get damaged. So you got your backup valve here. So backup valve's very important to the functionality of the cleaner. This one's actually the same shape as the gray color one that we had gone in over a previous video. Real simplistic. It's got a gear set in there. Every so often, as the gears rotate in the internals of the cleaner, it may get stuck. It may need to just get pushed off, start somewhere else. This actually has an internal timer on it that'll actually blow water out of the bottom hole here, and it kind of pulls the whole cleaner back and moves it away, so then that way it can reset somewhere else or get it unstuck if it is stuck in some dead corners, because sometimes that happens, you never know. So very important, if you take this off, make sure you re-lube it before you put it back on. This does need to be airtight, especially like the rest of your hoses. Otherwise, if you're going to be sucking air, you're not going to see the cleaner work, especially with a pressure side cleaner. So important. It does come stock with a ton of hose floats on it. These are, again, this is the gray and white cleaner, so this is meant for lighter color pools. So if you've got plaster, that's why they went with the white color float. If you're interested or you have a darker color pool, make sure you check out our other video on the gray cleaner. That way you can see the kind of differences in styles that they keep, so that way it can atone to whatever pool type you may have. They come preset. They put them where they need to be. Once you cut your hoses, if you've got extras, hold on to them. These do tend to crack sometimes, so you do need to replace them. Real simple, you remove the hose nut, pull them off, they slide right off the hose, you slide a new one on, pretty much right exactly where it was, and keep on going with the rest of your day. So real simple. They do have, let me see if I can find one here for you. Reasonably close. Here it is. So they do have hose swivels on everything. With Pentair's, only one side swivels, just to make sure that the hose itself doesn't get tied up in a bunch of circles as this thing moves around. It is randomized inside the cleaner, so as it's rotating, it's told to go one way or another, and it moves around, whether it hits other obstacles in your pool and needs to move different directions. It does move a lot, so having a hose swivel on there definitely helps, not getting all this tangled up, taking the risk of swimmers getting stuck in it, and the whole 9 yards. Really, really cool. They give you plenty. You can purchase them. Check them out below. We've got every breakdown of the parts that come with this cleaner, so that if you're worried about anything, we've got all the parts for it. And then make sure you stay tuned. We plan on doing a ton of more videos, ripping this thing apart from start to finish to show you every kind of possible repair or maintenance or anything that you troubleshooting, anything that you may need with these cleaners. They're great cleaners, really easy to fix once you start diving into it. So Back to the hose on the end that's actually going to plug into the wall of your pool. So it actually comes with the wall adapter. So you may already have one of these on your pool. Sometimes if it still looks good and it's in good condition and it'll actually fit, they're pretty universal. So especially if you're replacing it with the same cleaner, this is going to work with the same cleaner, obviously. So if you want to keep it, you know, put it in your toolbox, put it in your extras bucket, whatever it may be, hold on to them. Really cool to have, because this takes a lot of the being in the pool wall, and these threads get torn up. No Teflon needed, nothing like that. Since you're already underneath the water, you're just screwing it in as tight as you can possibly get it with your hands, hand tight. Again, check out the manual. They'll walk you through if you don't think you're doing it right. But very important, hold on to this. Right on the other side of that, it's got a filter. So this little filter, really crucial to your equipment, helps stop anything that may go through the cleaner, out of your bag, somehow gets sucked up into the hose, whether it's coming from your pump or to your pump. It's going to stop it to make sure that you don't take risk of damaging any of that equipment. It gets expensive and it is pricey, so make sure you do that. This does require maintenance about as much as you clear your regular baskets, your skimmer basket, whatever it may be. If you're gonna do that, just take this out the wall. It just twists real quick onto that piece. That stays in the pool. This just twists out. You can pull this out, make sure it's clean, keep the life of your cleaner going. It's very important. So on top of this pressure relief valve, you do actually have the pressure relief section. So if for whatever reason the pressure builds up, whether it's from your pump, whether it's from the cleaner end, whatever it may be, if the pressure gets too much, this actually has a weighted spring in it and it will open. And when this opens, it releases the pressure, takes away the risk of blowing up anything, causing any damage to any more of your equipment. Typically, once it goes, this part does need to get screwed out and replaced. So again, make sure you check out the links below. We've got all the parts to replace for this. You don't need to replace the entire piece. It comes with new casing if your casing's cracked. It comes in the option of a complete. It comes in multiple different things that we carry. So again, make sure you check out those links below. So that pretty much does it for the hose. Let me put this down and then we'll just go on a quick run again over the cleaner. Alright, so I actually just kept the gray one out here so you guys can actually see the differences in the two, just how significantly different it is, especially with color. Because of the fact that if you're going to have a dark style pool, if you've got a black onyx style PebbleTech, even if you've got a darker gray kind of PebbleTech, really cool to have this. Can't see it floating around, especially when it gets 6 feet underneath the water. If you've got the plaster pool, obviously you kind of can't avoid the gray top. You're going to see the gray top, but having white everywhere else can kind of help ease the eyesore that people get from having these cleaners. So, excuse me, if you have a plaster pool, really cool. Even lighter color PebbleTech, really cool. Keep on the dark and white, the dark gray white model. It kind of helps disappear in the bottom. So very similar to its counterpart here. It's got a white float compared to gray. Just the white wheels with white hubcaps. Otherwise, the functionality of both of these is exactly the same. They both have these really nifty flat kind of traps, so when you actually put the bag on here, as the debris comes up from the Venturi jets on the bottom and blows into your bag, once you turn your pump off and you're getting ready to remove the bag, to take the risk of all that stuff just going flooding right back into the cleaner, out the bottom, back into the rest of your pool, they actually throw these little flaps on there, so it does help kind of stop the backflow, obviously, from the leaks. I mean, sometimes it happens, you're gonna get a little bit of them, but it does help eliminate it quite a bit. Again, check out the links below. We got all these products available, so if anything goes wrong with it, we've got tons of replacement parts. Nothing but OEM replacement parts straight from Pentair. So all in all, both great cleaners. Really like the Legend style cleaner. Check out our other videos on the Legend 2, which is going to be similar to Polaris's 360, where it uses the bigger style hose. You still have a pressure side. You're not using a booster pump. It's not required, so it still functions with the larger hose. So stay tuned and check those out. But today we went over the Legend, the gray and white version, and again, make sure to check out the other videos on our all dark gray version so you can kind of see everything that comes included with it. And again, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and check out all the links below. I'm Kyle with ePoolSupply. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe today if you haven't subscribed. Check out the links below, and we got a lot more content coming your way. Thank you.